If you are planning to study in Canada in 2026, stop everything and watch this video first. Because Canada has just made some of the most significant changes to its student visa system in years, and if you are not aware of what is happening right now, your application could be rejected before it even gets properly reviewed. These are not small adjustments. Canada is tightening student visa rules in a way that is going to affect hundreds of thousands of international students around the world. The financial requirements are changing. Study permit numbers are being controlled. Fake colleges are being shut down. Border security is being strengthened, and weak applications are facing rejection rates that are higher than anything we have seen before. Whether you are applying for the first time or already planning your next step, what you do not know about these changes could cost you your Canadian dream. Stay with me until the very end, because every single point I'm about to share with you directly affects your chances of getting to Canada. Welcome to Canada Pathway Immigration, the channel dedicated to giving you clear, accurate, and up-to-date guidance on everything related to studying, living, and building your future in Canada. If you are new here, subscribe right now and turn on the notification bell, because immigration rules in Canada are changing fast in 2026, and you need to be the first to know. Today, we are breaking down the latest and most important updates coming directly from IRCC, Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, and explaining exactly what these tightened student visa rules mean for your application, your future, and your pathway to Canada. Let us start with the biggest shift that is driving all of these changes. Canada has made a deliberate and very clear policy decision to reduce the number of temporary residents entering the country. This includes international students. For years, Canada welcomed record numbers of students from around the world, and that created enormous pressure on housing, healthcare, and public services in cities across the country. The Canadian government responded by introducing a cap on study permits and by raising the standards that every applicant must meet before a study permit is approved. This is not a temporary experiment. This is the new reality of Canada's immigration system, and every student planning to apply in 2026 needs to understand it completely. The first major change that every applicant must know about is the increased importance of financial proof. Canada has always required students to show that they have enough money to cover tuition, living expenses, and their return travel. But in 2026, the financial threshold has been significantly raised, and the scrutiny applied to the documents you submit has become much more intense. Officers at IRCC are looking much more carefully at where your money is coming from, how long it has been in your account, and whether the funds are genuinely yours or have simply been deposited temporarily to make your application look stronger. If your bank statements show large sudden deposits right before your application, that is a red flag. Consistent savings over a period of time is what officers want to see. If your financial documents are not strong, your application is at serious risk of being refused. The second critical change is the introduction of controls on the number of study permits being issued. Canada has moved toward a system where study permits are not unlimited, and applications are being evaluated within a much more competitive framework. This means that even if your application is technically complete, it is now competing against a higher standard and a larger pool of rejected applicants who simply did not meet the new requirements. Timing, quality of documents, and the strength of your overall profile matter more than ever before. The third area where Canada has taken very aggressive action is the crackdown on fake colleges and visa fraud. This has been one of the most talked about issues in Canadian immigration over the past 2 years, and the government has now moved decisively to address it. Designated learning institutions, the schools that are approved to accept international students, are being reviewed much more strictly. Schools that were found to be accepting students without providing genuine education, or that were being used as a backdoor route into Canada without real academic intent, have been removed from the approved list. If you apply to one of these institutions, your study permit will not be approved. More importantly, if you are working with any agent or consultant who suggests applying to an institution you have never heard of, or one that promises guaranteed admission with no real academic requirements, walk away immediately. That is a pathway to fraud, not to Canada. Connected to this crackdown on fake institutions is a broader strengthening of border security measures across Canada. Officers at ports of entry are conducting more thorough checks on international students arriving in Canada. They are asking more detailed questions about your study plans, your institution, your program, and your intentions after your studies are complete. Students who cannot clearly explain why they chose their specific program, what they plan to do after graduating, and why Canada is the right destination for them, are raising flags at the border. Prepare yourself for these questions before you travel, not after you land. The fourth major development is directly tied to your study plan. What used to be called the Statement of Purpose. In 2026, a strong and convincing study plan is no longer optional. It is one of the most important documents in your entire application. Officers use your study plan to assess whether you are a genuine student with real academic goals or whether you are using the student visa as a way to enter Canada for other reasons. Your study plan must clearly explain why you chose your specific program, why you chose the specific institution, why Canada is the right country for your education, and what your plans are after you complete your studies. A generic, copied, or poorly written study plan is one of the fastest ways to get your application refused in 2026. This connects directly to the fifth major point. Weak applications are now facing significantly higher rejection rates than before. The days of submitting a basic application with minimal documents and hoping for approval are over. IRCC has raised the bar across the board, and applications that lack strong financial documentation, a clear study plan, credible academic background, and genuine ties to your home country are being refused at a much higher rate. Ties to your home country matter because officers need to be convinced that you intend to return home after your studies, not remain in Canada illegally. Proof of family, property, employment, or other genuine connections to your home country strengthens your application significantly. Now let us talk about something that many students overlook entirely: staying updated with IRCC announcements. The immigration landscape in Canada has changed more in the past 18 months than it did in the previous 5 years. New policies, new requirements, updated financial thresholds, changes to designated learning institution lists, all of these can happen with very little advance notice. If you are not following IRCC updates regularly, you may be preparing your application based on requirements that no longer exist, or missing new requirements that have already come into effect. Following Canada Pathway Immigration is one way to stay informed, but you should also bookmark the official IRCC website and check it regularly, especially in the months leading up to your application. Finally, it is important to understand that 2026 is almost certainly not the last year of immigration changes in Canada. The government has signaled clearly that managing the number of temporary residents, including international students, remains a top priority. Further changes to study permit caps, financial requirements, or post-graduation work permit rules could be announced at any time. The students who succeed in this environment are the ones who stay informed, prepare strong applications, work with legitimate and credible advisors, and treat the process with the seriousness and attention it requires. If you are serious about studying in Canada, the message from everything happening in 2026 is very clear. Financial proof is not optional. It must be strong, genuine, and consistent. Your study plan is not a formality. It must be detailed, convincing, and specific to your situation. The institution you choose must be a legitimate designated learning institution with a real academic program. Your ties to your home country must be credible and documentable. And you must stay updated with every change that IRCC announces, because missing one update can change the outcome of your entire application. Canada is still one of the best destinations in the world for international students. The opportunities are real, the education system is world-class, and for many students, Canada is genuinely the pathway to a better future. But in 2026, getting there requires more preparation, stronger documentation, and a much deeper understanding of how the system works than it ever did before. Here at Canada Pathway Immigration, we are committed to giving you every piece of information you need to navigate this process successfully. If this video helped you understand what is changing and what you need to do about it, Hit the like button right now and share this video with every friend, family member, or classmate who is planning to apply for a Canadian student visa. They need this information as much as you do. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on the bell so you never miss an update. Canada is waiting. Make sure your application is ready for it. We will see you in the next video.